Well, Happy New Year to all of the president-elects. If we haven't met, I am Mark Shockey. I am the district governor-elect and will be serving at the same time that you are serving as president. So I look forward to working together, to supporting you, to make your club just absolutely outstanding. I thought we'd spend a little bit of time here at the beginning of the year talking about goals. Really, the New Year's is a time for reflection. It's a time for resolutions. We look back and we think about what has been accomplished, and then we look forward and think about what we could be accomplishing. And we make some resolutions to make it as effective as possible. Well, let's do that when it comes to Rotary, because we're getting nearer your year. And here we go. So let's think about leadership and all that leadership is. This is from a book, and the author tended to put this in as a refrain. It was a book about leaders and the effects that people had on their community. And in each transition, this little refrain was found. Everything is different, but nothing has changed. And everything has changed, but nothing is different. Isn't that interesting to think about that in a different way? You're coming in, you're going to be a new leader, you're going to do things differently than anyone else has before you, but have things really changed in the organization? Or maybe you're coming in and you're thinking about all the changes you want to implement, but then you're still in the same organization with many of the same members, and so nothing's really different. You're still a service organization. Leadership is found in those unique ways. Well, let's think about leadership expectations. What's expected of you as a leader? There was a nationwide survey that was done, and about 1,500 people participated. And here's a listing of what they identified as being very important for a leader to do. Starts out with this one. 87% expect leaders to motivate people. That sounds like a grand task as a leader, that we would carry that on. Yes, it's expected that a leader would motivate people to do what? To be part of an important cause, an activity that's larger than themselves. 78% said leaders should negotiate compromises and resolve conflict. Oh, maybe you didn't think about that when you signed up to be a Rotary president. Keeping the peace. 77% look to leaders to determine and convey the course of action that people should take to produce desirable conditions and outcomes. So what we want to do as leaders is we want to say, here's where we're headed, this is what we're doing, and make sure everything is all in place so that when the event, when the activity, when the serving actually takes place, then we meet the outcomes that have been set for that. Again, about 3/4 of the people said they rely on leaders to implement a course of action that's in the best interest of society. In other words, we want to make the world a better place. We want to do things that are truly helpful, that truly serve others. 3/4 of the people said they expect a leader to put their time and energy in training more leaders. So not only are you to cast vision and organize and pull things together, but you're also to raise up the next leaders who will make things happen, who will carry the vision forward. 63% want leaders to communicate vision. That's good. We see that. But this is kind of a personal side of it. They want to know where things are headed and what they're going to have to put in to get there. So in other words, if they don't feel connected, if they don't feel like they understand where the organization is headed, they're going to look to the leader and say, you're not doing what I expect you to be doing. 61% say leaders are responsible for the direction and production of workers in the organization. So in other words, if you have a service event and only 2 people show up, who's going to get the blame for that? The leader, the leader. 61% also think leaders should analyze things. They should look at things. They should put together strategies and plans and direct the resources. So there's a lot to consider as that task is taken on. A little better than half hold leaders responsible for managing the day-to-day, not just the vision, not just events and fundraising and all of that, but they hold the leader for the day-to-day details. Who else is going to do it? The leader needs to do it. So what do we make out of all of that? And there's a lot more that showed up, but those are some of the major things that many people said these are expectations of leaders. Well, here's what it shows. It shows that we as individuals have developed an unreasonable notion of what a leader should do. So is it really about leadership expectations, or is it really unrealistic expectations? Unrealistic, unreasonable. How am I going to do all of this? So it becomes a little overwhelming when you think of it that way. But don't get too discouraged, because we're going to help you. We're going to guide you. We're going to make sure your Rotary year is incredible. And how are we going to do that? Right here, goals. Goals have an incredible way of helping move organizations forward. So today is about goals. What are goals all about? Goal setting, and here's a great quote. It's essential for leaders because it does 3 things. It provides direction, it provides focus, and it provides motivation. So there's direction, focus, and motivation for you as the president who's coming in, and also for your club as a whole. And goals provide all kinds of incredible things. You know goals, you understand goals, but it's really laying out expectations. That's what you're doing. That's what a goal does. It's an opportunity for the leader to say, here's what you can expect of me. Here's what I'm going to do. You can hold me accountable for this. And we're going to see some change. We're going to see some movement happen because of these goals. So let's think about Rotary goals. What's your big goal for your year as president? The big goal. As you just stop and think, all right, when it's all said and done, on the last day of my Rotary year, what do I want to be able to look back at and say, I accomplished this. This is what happened. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about that. But before that, let me just walk you through what I experienced. So here's the triple ripple, if you will. There's Sharon and Leif, and Sharon is the current district governor, and Leif will follow after me. Now, there was a time a couple of years ago when Julie Grape was district governor and Sharon was in my role. She was going to be the president-elect. I'm sorry, let me say that a little differently. She was the district governor elect. She was preparing to be the district governor. And so we were in Evanston, and we were there for a training time, and we were across the street in a hotel sitting in the lobby, and she pulled out her presentation, her PowerPoint. And in 10 minutes, she told me, here's what my goals are. Here's what I'm going to accomplish. And then she closed her mouth and she looked at me and said, so Mark, what are you going to do? I wasn't sure what to say. I knew what I wanted to see, but I couldn't clearly articulate it. So she didn't know what to expect. She didn't know what she could do to help me get to that point. Well, the next day came along, and it was an opportunity for me to give it a try. So Rotary has this great projection system. It's a kiosk, and you can go over there and you can put in whatever it is about Rotary that you want people to know. So I did that, and I thought about what I'm asking you to do. I wrote this statement at that point. What I want to do as part of Rotary is help the community experience the together we of Rotary. Together, working together. What does that mean? Well, here's the vision statement of Rotary. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe in our communities and in ourselves. And my focus is that first word. But not just the first word, because the first word needs the noun to it all. Together, we see this. Together, we accomplish this. Together, we take action. Together, we're creating lasting change. And you'll have an opportunity to hear from me. It's come a long way since that point. But that was my process, and that's what I'm asking you to do here at this point. Just grab a pen, and I'm going to give you just a moment here. Write down your big goal for your year as president. See how succinctly you can write it. Or maybe it's your first time trying to write it. But go ahead and give that a little bit of thought right now. Well, we talked about some general information for research that was done on leaders. Well, what about Rotary? Rotary has done their own research, and they have asked tens of thousands of Rotarians about what it is that helps them to stay in Rotary. Why are they a part of Rotary? And ultimately, the number one answer was the club experience. The club experience is everything for people. That's what we want to see. So let's take a look at each one of these components of that, the 5 things that were identified, the common features that most Rotarians said why they want to be a part of Rotary. It begins, number 1, with meeting enjoyment. Meetings are fun. They feel included. They want to belong. They want to show up. Yes, in a club, meetings are so very important. Number 2 is you. It's confidence in club leaders. It's the idea of saying, I trust the leader. I want to follow the leader. I want to hear what the leader wants to accomplish because I want to join the leader in doing that. I believe the leader is going to make good decisions for this club. I want to know the goals. I want to know the vision that the leader has. Third thing, personal growth opportunities. It's a little bit of a help me do something amazing. What can Rotary provide for me? Yes, it can be great programs that inspire and motivate us, but it's also the skills that come along in organizing activities or participating in a service event, that experiences we wouldn't have otherwise had. Number four is connections. When members feel that they've formed valuable relationships, that's what makes a difference. We had a member of our Edina Morningside Rotary Club who fought with cancer, and it was quite a battle. And I remember one time sitting with Pat in the midst of all of this, and he said, you know, Mark, Rotary is my church. And I said, oh, really? And as the pastor, I wanted to inquire a little bit more about what he meant. He said, well, think about it. We gather weekly, we listen to messages or speakers presenting on a topic, so we're learning and applying that to our life. We bring regular donations to share, and we have fellowship, and we spend time serving next to people, making a difference all around us. And I thought that is amazing. Well, as the time went on and he lost his battle to cancer, we ended up, I was invited to lead as a pastor his funeral. And what a powerful reminder that is. The connection that he felt for years and years of his life to other Rotarians. And then the fifth area is meaningful service. And it should be for a service organization, for a service club. We realize what we're doing is helping a family. It's helping an individual. It's helping a community. It's also helping globally. It's helping the whole world. So that's the club experience. As you think of those five, take a look at what you wrote down and which one most closely connects together with your big goal for your Rotary year. So give that just a thought for a moment as well, and write down something beside your goal that might help you flesh that out. Well, ultimately, this is about getting goals put together for your year. And this is my Rotary, my.rotary.org. Hopefully you're familiar with this area. Looks like I need to sign in once again here. In my Rotary, in Club Central, we'll find how to put goals together for our year. So down on the home page, you can come to Rotary Club Central, and it'll take you to that section. There's a couple things that you should be aware of. Here's my home club, Minnesota Veterans. First of all, once you get into my Rotary, and if you have not registered or can't quite figure that out, be sure to talk to either Alexa or to me, and we'll make sure to help you take the steps to have a Club Central account, because this is important. But then once you get here, and most of you should have that clearance, it should have a blue edit box here. And that just says, well, you're a president-elect and you can go in and make changes to the club goals. If you're not seeing that, that means your club needs to communicate further to Rotary that you are the president-elect. Most likely, if we know that you're the president-elect, it's already been communicated. So hopefully you see that edit, but don't let that discourage you if you don't. Second thing that you need to look at over here is the dates, the years that are here. So the 24-25 would be our current president's goals and what our current president has put in there. So most likely you want to leave that alone unless if you've been asked to follow up on those areas. What you'll do want to go to is the 25-26. That's your Rotary year. And then you can simply go down and discover the goals. Now, these are goals that Rotary has determined if these are set out and if they are accomplished by club members, it's going to be a successful club. You're going to accomplish some great things. So they're goals. Here are some priority goals that come up first, and then there's some smaller goals that go along. They all fit together with the Rotary vision and the 4 areas of that vision action plan. And you can see these same goals by looking at some of how the goals fit in each of those areas. But we'll just look at all goals now. And membership is a top priority. It should be for your club. It certainly is for our district. We want to equip you and make some great things happen there. Here is a select goal. You can select which goals you want to take and or you want to set, and then you just simply come in and you would say, well, by the end of my year, I want there to be 85 people. Oh, interesting. So the goal details, how are you doing toward that? And what's interesting is it sets, as you set that goal, it will tell you how you're doing to achieve that goal as you go along. So I don't want to do that to the president, to set those goals. So I'm gonna take that away and not enter that. Now, the thing to remember is the leader is to set goals before people, but you'll have to determine how those goals are originally decided upon. And that depends on your club. Maybe you're a club that's gone through some visioning recently. Take that visioning and what you did together and say, all right, here's what we said we were going to do. Here's some things that I'm gifted to make happen. So these are the goals I'm setting forth in this year. Or maybe you want to work with your board and determine these goals. I have been to a board meeting where the leader brought up Club Central and we simply worked through it. And together we filled out what those goals should be. And then finally, you want to take these goals and communicate them on to the rest of your club. And hopefully you'll have a chance to do that just before your year begins. And then you'll be repeating it over and over again because, well, vision leaks and you need to say it again and again and again and report on how you're doing on those goals. And once those goals are out in front of people, It gives the club an opportunity to hold you accountable. It helps them to be motivated, and they know these are the things that we need to be focusing on together as a a club. So that's some goals. One last thing before we go our separate ways here is there are some tabs. You can find some reports. How have we done as a club? What goals have been set in the past? The goals, by the way, got a revamp in 2024. So they do look a little different than some of the previous years. So, the reports aren't, there might be some holes in them because new things are being asked of Rotary clubs in order to be successful. But this resources tab here is great for getting started. So you can see a PDF of how to set a goal in Rotary Club Central. So everything I just said so quickly, you can go through a step-by-step visual to find that. And then once you have goals, how do you report on them? That's the next one. And what information is already going to be populated in here? Well, it'll walk you through what that looks like. And then if in each of the areas, around membership, around serving, around foundation, public image, and everything else that's there, how can you reach goals? How can you do an analysis to know where do we need to focus? What should we be doing? And you can find some great tools, some assessments that are here. Ask other leaders in your club. They probably have already had some history with goals, and you might learn an awful lot. So anyway, there we are. A great tool, a great encouragement for the new year. What I'm asking is that you would have given consideration to your goals, maybe even have them all entered by the time PETS comes along. So PETS President-elect Training Seminar is coming in March. And if you have not registered for that, please do. Please get your name on the list. The price will continue to go up the longer you wait. So get your name on the list. And then after you have done that, start working on these goals and be equipped. We'll do some challenging while we're there. We'll work through this. The goals ultimately, the club goals go along, and the club goals are communicated to the district. We can see what you enter here. And then the district gathers that, uses that as we work through our goals, and that gets communicated to the zone, and the zone then takes those goals and assesses them and communicates that up even further to Rotary International as the whole organization. So your goals have a significant impact far beyond your members, your community, and even your club. So we're a part of an incredible organization, and goals are how we lead. So thanks for spending some time here at the beginning of the year. I look forward to hearing more about what you hope to do in your club this year. Have a great day now.